In the heart of a whimsical forest filled with towering trees and chirping critters, there was an annual event that all the animals looked forward to with glee: the Fuzzy Forest Olympics. Every year, creatures from every corner of the forest gathered together to celebrate friendship, fun, and a little friendly competition. This year's games were shaping up to be the best yet. Tara the turtle, known for her lightning-fast shell-shocking speed, was eager to defend her title in the snail trail race. Leo the lion, though brave and strong, had a reputation for being just a bit accident. His roaring enthusiasm was always appreciated, even if it sometimes led to hilarious mishaps. Then there was Milo the monkey. Famed for his super smarts, he could solve any puzzle in a jiffy, and his logic was as sharp as his wit. But what he lacked in athleticism, he made up for in brains. And finally, Bella the flying squirrel, whose graceful gliding was the talk of the forest. She was a natural up in the sky, but when it came to heights, well, that's a different story. The forest clearing was buzzing with excitement as all the animals assembled for the opening ceremony. The air was thick with anticipation as Mayor Oak, a wise old tree who'd seen countless Olympic games come and go, raised his leafy arms to declare the games open. Cheers echoed through the trees as the athletes took their places. Tara, the speedy turtle, was in her element. Her eyes sparkled with determination as she lined up at the starting line of the snail trail race. Beside her, Leo the lion paced nervously, his tail swishing back and forth. His event, the Mighty Roar contest, was next, and the thought of having to let out a mighty roar in front of the entire forest made him feel a bit queasy. Meanwhile, Milo the monkey was perched on a low-hanging branch, a mischievous grin on his face. He loved a good brain teaser, and today was all about wits and wiles in the nutty logic games. Finally, Bella the flying squirrel was nowhere to be seen. As the games commenced, the forest echoed with cheers and applause. Tara, true to form, won the snail trail race, leaving all the other speedy contestants in the dust. Her secret? She talked really fast when she raced. It helped her move faster. Leo, after a few deep breaths and a pep talk from his friend, Fiona the fox, let out a mighty roar that shook the leaves off some of the trees. It wasn't the loudest, but the judges praised him for his valiant effort. And Milo, well, he aced the nutty logic games, solving riddles and puzzles that left the other contestants scratching their heads. But as the sun climbed higher and the temperature rose, the forest floor began to empty. The animals who hadn't won their events ambled off, tails between their legs, feeling disappointed. Some stopped by the babbling brook for a drink. Others sought solace in the shade of the tall trees. They couldn't help but feel a pang of sadness. They wanted to cheer for their friend Bella, but she was nowhere to be found. Bella had been watching the games from a safe distance, hiding behind a large fern. She really wanted to participate, but she was too scared. The day before, she'd peeked into the forest clearing and accidentally flown into a tree. That wasn't exactly a graceful landing, and ever since, she couldn't shake this feeling of dread. The one event she was good at, the glide and grab, was scheduled for last. It involved flying high above the forest floor and collecting fruits as they fell from the trees. For Bella, this meant soaring to the very top of the tallest trees, and that was something she couldn't even imagine doing after her fall. As the other animals headed home, Bella couldn't bring herself to move. She sat huddled in the fern, tears welling up in her eyes. Suddenly, a gentle hand, or rather paw, rested on her shoulder. It was Tara the turtle, followed closely by Leo the lion and Milo the monkey. They'd noticed Bella's absence and were worried. "What's wrong, Bella?" asked Tara, her voice filled with concern. Bella hesitated, her lower lip trembling. I don't think I can do it," she whispered, her voice catching. "Do what, Bella?" asked Milo, tilting his head in confusion. Bella took a deep breath and poured out her fears, her words tumbling over each other in a rush. I can't fly up there. What if I fall again? What if I'm not good enough?" she finished, her voice barely a whisper. Leo stepped closer, his green eyes filled with understanding. "Bella, we know how brave and amazing you are," he said, his voice a low rumble. "We all get scared sometimes, even me. Remember the time I tried to climb that tree and ended up hanging upside down?" he added with a sheepish grin. Milo nodded, his eyes twinkling. "I once got stuck trying to steal a coconut. I thought I'd never get down," he said, chuckling at the memory. Tara, ever the quick thinker, had an idea. "How about we practice together? We can help each other and you can get comfortable with heights," she suggested with a warm smile. Bella's eyes widened. "Really? You'd help me?" she asked, surprised. The three friends nodded, their eyes shining with encouragement. And so they did. Leo started with small climbs up a nearby branch, while Milo kept a lookout from above. When Bella felt ready, Tara joined her on the ground, providing words of comfort and praise. Together, they practiced flying and landing, navigating and balancing, building trust and confidence in each other. Little by little, Bella began to feel braver. The fear was still there, but now it was mixed with excitement. This was her chance to show everyone, and most importantly, herself, what she could do. After what felt like hours, but was really only minutes, the three friends made their way back to the clearing. The sun was beginning its slow descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. The other animals were gathered, their eyes hopeful, waiting for Bella to arrive. When they saw her, a wave of joy swept through the crowd. Cheers erupted as Bella glided gracefully towards the center of the clearing. She could feel the weight of all eyes on her, but instead of panicking, she took a deep breath and focused on the task ahead. The glide and grab was unlike any other event. Each animal would take turns flying to the top of the tallest tree and grabbing as many fruits as they could. The catch? The fruits would be launched from a giant slingshot, sending them flying through the air at unpredictable intervals. Bella watched as one by one, her friends and neighbors took their turn. She saw Tara, the speedy turtle, grab as many pineapples as her shell could carry. She spotted Leo, the brave lion, leaping and bounding after juicy mango, and she cheered for Milo the monkey, who expertly snatched bananas that flew towards him. As the last rays of sunlight filtered through the trees, it was Bella's turn. A hush fell over the crowd as she began her ascent, slowly gaining altitude, her heart pounding in her chest. The forest seemed to hold its breath. Suddenly, the familiar sound of the giant slingshot echoed through the clearing. A volley of fruits shot into the air, arcing through the sky. Bella's eyes widened. It was now or never. With a determined glint in her eye, Bella dove towards the nearest fruit. Her paws outstretched, she managed to grab onto a plump mango. Just as it reached its highest point, her heart soared as she felt the weight of the fruit against her paws. She maneuvered skillfully through the air, dodging apples and pears, and snagged another fruit, a juicy pineapple. Encouraged by her successful grabs, Bella continued her aerial dance. She swerved and turned, gathering more and more fruits until her paws were laden with a colorful assortment. Back on the ground, cheers and applause erupted. The crowd went wild, their voices echoing Bella's bravery. As she landed gracefully, Tara rushed to her side, her eyes sparkling. "You were amazing, Bella!" she exclaimed. Leo, his tail held high in the air, added, "That was one heck of a landing." Even Mayor Oak, the epitome of composure, couldn't help but crack a wide smile. "Well done, Bella!" he boomed, his voice echoing through the forest. "You showed us all that with a little courage and a lot of heart. Anyone can achieve their dreams." Milo, ever the strategist, had an idea. "Let's help her collect those fruits," he suggested with a mischievous grin. And so the animals of Fuzzy Forest, young and old, set off into the woods, each carrying a basket or a sack to help Bella collect the fallen fruits. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows through the trees, the forest clearing was transformed into a scene of celebration. The animals feasted on the bounty Bella had collected, sharing stories and laughter under the soft glow of the fireflies. Bella, surrounded by her friends and neighbors, couldn't help but smile. She may not have won a medal, but she'd won something far more valuable, the respect and admiration of her community. And that, she realized, was the greatest victory of all.